In this tutorial, I will show you how to do a multi-scale analysis of a single variable. This is called univariate analysis. Once you have uploaded your data, you will be presented with the next page, which is the Analyze page. You analyze data by selecting the large blue Analyze button at the bottom of the page. However, first you may wish to change some of the options. The default is to perform univariate analysis. There is a checkbox for performing multivariate analysis. Later I will show you how to do multivariate analysis, so we leave this off for now. Next, you need to decide how to handle gaps in the data. In order to perform the multi-scale analysis, the program will interpolate your data at a regular spacing. In other words, it will fill your gaps with linearly interpolated data. This is the default option, Fill Gaps. If you choose Show Gaps, then your analysis results will display where there were gaps in your original data. Usually, you will only want to show big gaps in your data. You can choose what the minimum number of missing intervals required in order to display gaps. When you select Show Gaps, you can choose the minimum number of missing intervals. I usually choose about 6 or 8, but the choice is up to you. Finally, you can choose to initially process a subset of your data. If you have uploaded a large number of drill holes, you may wish to first check how the algorithm runs on a small set so you can experiment with different parameters. Using a smaller data set initially will speed up processing time. Use the drop-down arrow to choose the subset of drill holes. In this case, I have selected 4 drill holes. You can also filter the data. I will demonstrate filtering in a different example. Now scroll to the top of the window. Here you can see the summary of your options and the status of the analysis. The status is not analysed. The options are currently set to the default options. These will update once you run the analysis. In the middle of the window, there are 4 tabs. We are currently on the Analyze tab. The other tabs are not active because we have not performed the analysis yet, so no results are available. This will update once the analysis is run. To run the analysis, scroll to the bottom of the window and select the large blue Analyze button. Once your data is analysed, the screen will update. The Univariate Analysis tab will become active, and so will the Geology log tab if you uploaded a logging file. At the top of the page, the status and options will have updated as well. For example, you can see the list of drill holes that you selected and the gap handling information. Select the Geology log tab to plot the geology logs. The full list of unique rock types in the logs will be shown. Below this is a selector for plot width and plot height. It is best to use the default options initially. Then you can choose a file name for saving the plot. A default file name is provided, which you can edit. Before plotting the log, you need to assign colours to the rock types. These can be assigned manually. However, if you have a large number of rock types, this may be very slow, in which case you can simply assign random colours using this button. You can lock some of the colours and then randomize the rest. You can also manually edit the random colors. Select the color. If you lock the manually edited ones, you can continue to randomize the other colors. When I am happy with the color selection, I will click the dark blue Plot Geology Log button. The geology logs have been plotted for the selected drill holes. Note that I have automatically changed the Help tab to the Image Viewer tab. At this stage, I can change the colors and replot if I want to. For example, choosing the basalt, I've changed the color, and now I'll replot it. You can see the basalt has changed from brown to green. Now I can save this plot as a PNG file using the download icon. In addition, I can edit the file name using the pencil icon, or I can delete the plot using the trash icon. I can open the downloaded file in another program, and I can use this to compare it against the results of the multi-scale analysis. To see the results of the univariate analysis, select the Univariate tab. There are two plotting options within the Univariate tab, Univariate Mosaic and Pseudolog. First, select Univariate Mosaic. This opens a panel for selecting plotting options. Select which drill hole to plot, and then select which variable to plot. You can modify the plot height and width, and choose a color map. I'm going to choose the jet color map. There is a default file name which you can edit as well. Finally, select the dark blue Plot Mosaic button. On the plot to the left is the input data with depth on the y-axis. The mosaic plot is shown twice. The mosaic plot on the left is coloured by the mean value in the depth range of each domain. The mosaic plot to the right is identical, except that it is coloured by variance instead of mean. The y-axis is depth, and the x-axis is the domain scale. Small scale domains plot on the left, and increasingly larger scale domains plot to the right. The white domain, which stretches across all scales, is a gap domain. It shows the location where more than 8 intervals in sequence were missing. Remember that 8 was the number I chose for the minimum gap size. I can download this plot using the download symbol. The plot is downloaded as a PNG file. PNG files are useful to view as it is a small file size. However, if I wanted to edit the image, say for a report or presentation, Then I can also export it as editable vector graphics. Scroll to the bottom of the panel and select the settings icon. Choose Download as SVG. If I drag and drop the SVG into the browser window, I can see a preview of the file. To view another drill hole, I simply change the selection by clicking the down drop box and then replot. We can now compare our results to the geology log by opening the downloaded file of the geology log. This is the hole we are looking at now, MSDP03. You can see that the titanium ratio is actually quite good at distinguishing the different units that the geologist logged. For example, there is a sand at the top of the drill hole, followed by saprolite, then trachydacite, and finally the basalt unit. We can also see some of these breccia units because they change the composition of the titanium subtly. We can choose the scale which best reflects the geology logging. Select the scale from the x-axis. Let's try a scale of 10. Now I will generate a pseudolog for all the drill holes at this scale. I close the Univariate Mosaic panel and open the pseudolog panel. I select the variable, which is titanium. I select the domain scale, which is 10, plot width, plot height, and a color map. Finally, I check the Plot Pseudolog button at the bottom of the panel. This plots the domains for all the drill holes that we analysed at the selected scale. Now we can compare them once again to the geology log. We can see how well the titanium ratio was able to pick all the logged geology boundaries at the scale. Once we are satisfied with our results, they can be exported to a spreadsheet. Simply click the white Export Pseudolog button. If I open the file, then I can see what information was exported. The last number in the file name is the scale at which the domains were exported. The file contains the hole IDs, the depth intervals from and to, the mean, and the variance in each domain at this scale. If you're creating a 3D model, you could import this file directly into your 3D modeling software. There's one more thing I will show you. If you select this icon, the image library icon, at the top right hand of the image, it will provide you with a list of all the plots you've generated for this data set. You can rename them, delete them, or download them. This completes the Univariate tutorial.